My sister's laughter echoed in my ears long after that fateful dinner. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. 23 years of living with that sound should have built up some immunity. But no! Each laugh, each snicker is its own brand of torture. You see, my sister's favorite pastime is making my life hell. And Dad, well, he's her biggest supporter. Tonight was supposed to be a break from all that. My cousin's birthday dinner, everyone in the family gathered. Food, music, games. It was going well. Then Dad turned to me. So, OP heard about what happened at work on Monday. Everyone looked at me. What did he mean? I must have looked confused because he continued. Yeah, you screwed up that presentation, didn't you? A cold dread filled me. My dad was talking about a small mistake at work. I had tripped while presenting charts and graphs. Nothing big. Just a small stumble that happened to the best of us. I admitted it when he asked. Yes, sir, I did. Dad stood up. Well, looks like someone has something to apologize for. Apologize, OP. The room fell silent. All eyes were on me. Shame burned in my chest. Then came the slap. Dad's hand connected with my cheek. The pain was immediate, sharp, hot, but the emotional blow was worse. Humiliation, disappointment, betrayal. All I could do was stare at him, shocked. Then came the second punch, and with it, the realization I knew I couldn't defend myself against him. Not here! Not with everyone watching! My gaze flicked around the room, meeting every eye, each filled with surprise, a few with pity. I was a mess of tangled emotions, embarrassed, angry, hurt. And then I saw her, my sister, her eyes sparkling with delight. Wow, OP, she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Way to make a fool out of yourself. Real mature. More sneakers joined hers, forming a chorus of laughter. I wanted to disappear. As soon as I could, I escaped to my room. I spent hours locked in there, reliving the horror of that dinner. I kept replaying my sister's laughter in my head, trying to make sense of it, but I couldn't. It wasn't just about the slap or the humiliation. It was about her perverse joy in my pain. And that twisted glee! I couldn't stand it! Suddenly, a memory popped into my head, an idea sparked, a crazy plan started forming. I pulled out my phone and searched for my aunt's number. She was the only person who could help me. My dad's younger sister, strong-willed, opinionated, fearless. She was the one person who could stand up to Dad and make him listen. When she answered, I explained my plan. She didn't ask questions, didn't try to talk me out of it. She just listened. And when I was done, she said, "Okay, I'll be there tomorrow morning." I hung up, my hand shaking. The next morning, the house was tense. My aunt arrived early, making a point to look stern. I saw fear flash across Dad's face. He tried to hide it, but it was too late. My aunt marched straight into the kitchen where he stood, pulled up a chair and sat down. "Let's talk," she said, her voice leaving no room for debate. Everyone slowly left the room, giving us privacy. I watched from afar as they talked. My aunt's face was unreadable, but Dad's shifted from confident to uncomfortable to downright panicked. I felt a strange mix of excitement and fear course through me. As the minutes ticked by, my aunt finally stood up. "I need to speak to OP," she said. Alone in my room, I poured my heart out. I told her everything, every harsh word, every cruel action, every instance of humiliation. I didn't hold back. When I finished, I felt drained, empty. She sat in silence for a bit, processing it all. "Don't worry, OP," she finally said. "Your secret is safe with me." She left shortly after, promising to return later that evening. The wait was agonizing. Each hour seemed like a year. Finally, around 8 p.m., I heard a knock on the door. My aunt entered, her face grim. "Come with me," she said. Walking into the living room, I saw my dad standing, his face pale, his eyes filled with dawning horror. Beside him stood my sister, her usual smirk replaced by a look of pure terror. My aunt held both their gazes, her eyes boring into them. I think it's time you both knew the truth, she said, her voice dangerously calm. Opie deserves an apology. Not just from you, Arthur, but from her too, and in front of everyone. Over the next few hours, the entire family gathered. First came the shock, then the murmurs, then the gasps. They watched as my dad, forced by his own sister, apologized to me, his words heavy with shame. And when he was done, it was my sister's turn. She stammered, she cried, but she apologized. In front of everyone! She admitted to being a horrible sister, a coward, a bully. In the end, they all left. My aunt made sure of it. She drove my dad and sister out of town, away from me, away from the life they once knew. As for me, I was left with a new sense of peace, the knowledge that the truth had set me free. The scars remain, but the burden is lighter. The echoes of their taunts still linger, but the walls are thicker now. Sometimes, the quietest acts of courage can be the loudest. That single phone call resonated, reverberating through our lives, shattering the fragile peace and exposing the deafening truth.